So, in a lot of our marketing, we tout a lot about automated esports events, and that can mean quite a lot of things. It can mean local tournaments being created through the ggCircuit website. It can be our ggCircuit network participating in our seasons, which are center versus center competitions around the world. Or it can be our automated esports tournaments that we do on a regional and global level, and right now focused on Fortnite, but also with plans for future games in our system. So we wanted to talk about how the automated esports events work in our system, and let's get started. So when it comes to doing our automated tournament system, there are actually three different parts to it. Obviously there's us, which are the ggCircuit admins, which do all the setup and the final start of all the Fortnite queues, or let's say automation match queues. Then there is the center employees who are actually purchasing the tickets and applying them to the users and overseeing that everything is all good. And then finally there's the player participants who go to the location, they purchase the tickets, and they participate in the matches. So here's the task that I just talked about for the ggCircuit admins. When it comes to creating tournaments, we go into our tournament system and we say add tournament. And so this allows us to create a date, the time frames when the matches start, what region it is, and how many players we're allowing into that tournament. This also allows us to see what players have registered, what center they're from, and if anything would mess up within the automation, allow them another qualifier attempt or another match attempt. Not only that, but this area allows us to actually start the game queues once everything is ready and set up. So once we create our tournaments, then we can create our tournament tickets. So this is critical because this is how all of our locations that are participating actually purchase tickets. So we can go into these and we can say, okay, this ticket is for this event. This is how many tickets are available. And then we can create different pricing plans based on how we want to sell these tickets. So a lot of times what we do is we set a base price and we set a minimum tickets, let's say 5. But then if you purchase 25 tickets, we may do a discount. If you purchase 50 tickets or whatever we set, we can continue to create different pricing based on the amount of tickets that are purchased. In our game servers area, this is a specific piece for Fortnite right now because we're offered private servers from Epic. So what we have to do is within our system, we go in, we create a server, we apply the account and the password for that server. And then also through our automation, as you can see over here on the server state, it will show us whether the server is off, whether the server is free and ready to use, or if the server is maybe doing another match and is currently in process. The next step is organizing centers. So what we do right now is we make sure to get any center employee or any center owner that may be participating in the event into our Discord. So within our Discord with all the employees and center admins, we can make sure that we get everybody organized. We make sure we're not missing anyone that's trying to get into a match. We help them with any technical difficulties, and we warn them when, hey, we're getting ready to start the match, get your players seated. So when it comes to center employees, there's a few steps that the centers have to do to get the players eligible for the events. So number one is purchasing tickets. So once the admins have the tickets available, the centers will go into their shop settings and stock control. Then within the tournament tickets tab, they should see the event available for them to purchase tickets. So they will buy these tickets, and again, then that applies our pricing structure that we set up with the tournament tickets. So then what they will do next is once they've purchased it in their stock control, then they go into their inventory management, tournament tickets tab, and those tickets are now available for them to purchase. Within the inventory, they can then choose to price the tickets however they want for the event. So in this case, they purchased them for $0. We suggest specifically for these Fortnite events that you only charge the amount of time that your players are going to play in the tournament. So let's say if it is $5 an hour, maybe you want to do $15 for a 3-hour event and then save that. The next step for a center is you want to add that ticket. Once you've adjusted your prices, you want to add that ticket to the player's account. So you'd go into shop, you go into tournament tickets, you would choose that ticket to apply to their account in their cart, and then check out and pay. And then the last thing is just to oversee players during the event. I know that centers may not always have an extra person to be able to be a tournament organizer because they're trying to run the store as well as do this event if they're the only person at the store. But it's a good idea to have a volunteer or someone to come in just in case to be able to watch your players depending on how many you have. That way you can notify us if a player's having difficulty getting into the match, and so that we can make sure everything goes smoothly and if there's anything that we need to do on our end. So finally, it's the players themselves, and this is the majority of the people who are participating in this event. We want to make it go smoothly. Right now, our automation for Fortnite specifically, and we're doing more games into the future, but you know, our automation's around 90-95%. There may be someone that has a strange resolution or something that we haven't accounted for, but we've been doing about 5 or 6 test events and trying to knock out all of the issues that we possibly can. There's still going to be some outliers. So once a center employee has applied a ticket to a player account, once it's that time frame for the event, all the player has to do is log into ggLeap. So they will immediately see the branding for whatever event is going on, and within our user interface, they would click the banner. They would see that specifically for Fortnite, they have to launch Epic, and we check for that Fortnite is launched, and then they go back to the user interface and they queue up. So that's really all they have to do. What I'm about to show you is a quick automation of once the admins start the queue, then it locks the player's computer screen and it goes through all the settings that they need and puts them into the Fortnite queue. If you are a center and want to learn more about how our Fortnite event's going to work, make sure to check out tinyurl.com/ggEventFAQ.